Welcome to this webinar on remanufacturing. My name is Nina Boersma and I'm interviewing David Peck, remanufacturing expert from the TU Delft. I'm going to ask questions about business operations. So, when is in-house remanufacturing preferred over third-party remanufacturing?
Let's just explain what we mean here, or at least I can try and reflect back what I think you mean. So when we talk about in-house remanufacturing, you're talking about the original equipment manufacturer doing the remanufacturing operations. It could be in another location, or it could be in a different part of the factory or something like that, but they're doing it, okay? Third party is a different company. Now, I guess that third party could have a license to do it from the original equipment manufacturer and a relationship with them, or not. So they may just be picked. Okay, so that's third party, different company, in-house, same company doing remanufacturing. And your question is, which is best?
When do you choose either one or the other?
Oh gosh, yeah, that's a good question. I would say that it depends on the business model that the OEM has set up. In the case of in-house, so they may well turn around and go, okay, we've identified the market segment, we know we can sell Reman product there. It may be they're not selling the product, it could be a leasehold type arrangement or some other financial arrangement with a user where the product goes out and pay for use or whatever, and then it comes back in for Reman. There can be all kinds of business models which works for the original equipment manufacturer. And that's fine. And that would work well, and then the business model would work, and the company would choose to do in-house. Fine. It could be that they turn around and go, okay, we want to move into this market over here. It could be another geographical region where they don't currently operate. And it could be that there's another company there who is operating and can do remanufacturing to the standard and the quality and the service delivery that they would expect themselves, so they don't damage their brand. And they enter into a commercial relationship with that third party to do it in, say, another geographical location. Or it could be that there's a market segment. So, for instance, they might be doing business to business, and then over here there might be public sector, and they want to move into that, but they don't have any business contacts and relations, so a third party might work there. How might it work for the original equipment manufacturer who's moved into Reman in terms of a third party with no relationship at all? Well, at first glance, it would look like there would be no benefit at all, but it depends. So what if they go into selling spare parts or selling service support? So they might not have a formal relationship, but they might be making money out of it. And if it's not taking away their market share in markets where they want to operate, it could be a valuable commercial activity. And there could be something else as well. You might sit there and say, well, actually, our brand name has generally 10% of the market share, which isn't much, so we're not a major player in the market. But if in other geographical locations around the world, they used remanufacturing product to increase the market use of our brand, that might be really good for us. So there are very many varied examples around that. So I think that begins to give us an idea of choices that businesses would make. There's not one hard and fast rule. Every product, every market, every business model is different. And that's what makes remanufacturing exciting.
What about the case where an OEM likes to start remanufacturing activities? Is there any education for this? Are there people educated in this field?
Well, of course, you're asking this question in the context of an education program where we're trying to bring that in. Do we have a challenge as we move forwards around the world, and especially in Europe, where we expect to see a radical ramp up of remanufacturing activity? Do we have the provision of skills and knowledge at all levels for all people going to be involved? The answer is that's the challenge going forwards, and at the moment we don't. So, for instance, if you ask, oh, can I do a master's degree in remanufacturing or something like this, then these are very hard to find, if at all, in Europe. So we do have a lot of challenge going forwards in that. What we do know is we've got some fantastic colleagues and centres of excellence all over Europe who have been rolling out programs on education for decades, a whole body of knowledge around the world as well with other partners, and we can build on that. And I think we've got all the core constituents, especially in Europe, to really build the remanufacturing sector in terms of skills and knowledge going forward. But there's work to be done on that.
Thank you, Dave. As I understand, there's a lot to learn, but also a lot to grow towards. These were the insights for business operations.